Okay, let's begin.
The recording is started. Okay, thank you.
Yes. All right. Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Stephanie Rambler. I'm a Sustainable Development Officer at the Division for Sustainable Development Goals, UNDESA. I'd like to welcome you to this event, Rebuilding Better with Science, Technology, and Innovation during COVID-19, leveraging the technology facilitation mechanism. And the centerpiece of this event will be the launch of the online platform known as 2030 Connect. This event has been organized by the Department for Economic and Social Affairs, the UN Conference on Trade and Development, and the Office of Information and Communications Technology of the UN. And again, I welcome you to this event during the second week of the High-Level Political Forum. The HLPF is reviewing progress toward the Sustainable Development Goals and the agenda, the 2030 Agenda, of course, in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic and the need to build back better. This COVID crisis has re-emphasized that science, technology, and innovation are fundamental not only to the recovery in the context of COVID, but of course more generally to advance sustainable development. And this knowledge is nothing new for member states. They have been very keenly aware of it for many years, and with that in mind, created the Technology Facilitation Mechanism, or TFM, to mobilize science, technology, and innovation on behalf of the SDGs and on implementation of the 2030 Agenda. Today, as I mentioned, the event is built around a key component of the Technology Facilitation Mechanism, which is an online platform to promote science, technology, and innovation for sustainable development. We'll be hearing quite a bit more about that later on in the event, but I do want to note that we have our lead developer from OICT, our colleague in Bangkok, Mr. Jai Subanyangam, and he will be online and can answer any quick questions through the chat function, which I'll describe a little bit later. I should say that the event also illustrates another key component of the TFM, or this mechanism, which is the UN-wide interagency task team. It currently comprises 43 UN agencies, and it's a very important and collaborative mechanism that we rely on in DESA and our partners do for working collaboratively around these issues. And so we're very fortunate that many members of the IATT, or the task team, will be part of this event today, and we will be hearing from them later on some of their important STI initiatives. The opening session will feature leaders from the two co-conveners of the task team, and that is UNDESA and UNCTAD, the UN Conference on Trade and Development. And so we'll start that opening session in just a minute. Before we get started, I wanted to go over a few more housekeeping details. I know that we've all been doing many of these waxes and webinars, but I just wanted to go over a few sort of hints, which is if you're not speaking, please keep your microphone muted and your camera off, especially for those of us with less powerful bandwidth. That will be very helpful. There is a chat box on the side of your screen, depending on how it's organized, but that chat box is open to everyone, and so attendees and panelists can have kind of a dialogue there. If you want to share any resources or links, that's a good place to do it. That chat box and all of the content will be saved at the end of the event, so that will be a good resource after the fact as well. And I should also mention that this event will be recorded, and that will be posted on our website as well. Now, without further ado, I think I would like to introduce our opening keynote speaker, and I will move to my other role here. Mr. Liu Zhenmin, Undersecretary General, Department of Economic and Social Affairs. Mr. Liu, you have the floor.
Thank you, Stephanie. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all colleagues. Excellencies, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure for me to join you at this important side event on rebuilding better with SDI during the COVID-19 crisis. Let me thank colleagues and friends from UNCTAD and OICT for co-organizing this meeting. In 2015, the UN member states launched the UN Technology Facilitation Mechanism, or the TFM, in support of the implementation of the 2030 Agenda. The TFM, which UNDESA co-convenes with UNCTAD, encourages a new multi-stakeholder way of working. Its aim is to bring governmental decision makers and the entire UN system closer to the private sector, academia, and civil society to more effectively deploy science, technology, and innovation, or the STI, towards the SDGs. The TFM engages 43 UN agencies working together under the umbrella of the IATT. The full title is Interagency Task Team, and a multi-stakeholder group of 10 experts appointed by the Secretary General. Member states also mandated, as a part of the TFM, outline an online platform to be a gateway to existing STI initiatives, mechanisms, and programs within and beyond the United Nations. We will be launching this platform, now known as the 2030 Connect, today. The 2030 Connect has been a team effort. DESA, as the coordinator of the IATT, along with the UNCTAD, has worked with the United Nations Office of Information and Communications Technology, that the OITCT, and other IATT members to develop this first phase of 2030 Connect. Our collective ambition is to help exhibit its potential and facilitate concrete next steps for broader operationalization. This piece of work is based on the independent technical assessment mandated by the 2030 Agenda. It seeks to provide a single focal point through which to access the many technology and knowledge resources, both within and outside the UN, that can help leverage STI for the SDGs. At this initial stage, we are grateful for the many IATT members who have facilitated the data exchange between their existing platforms. These are already open to the public, as well as the online platform of the TFM. The colleagues from 3 of the IATT members, they are WIPO, UNESCO, and ICGEP, have kindly joined us today for this event. They will also share their views on how the 2030 Connect can facilitate the dissemination of knowledge on STI for SDGs to a wider audience. We are pleased that this platform is attracting the interest of non-UN entities, including those engaged in open access to scientific research. It is important to share the progress made in operationalizing the 2030 Connect, and we look forward to your feedback. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, STI is one of the principal means for achieving SDGs. I assure you that my department, UNDESA, together with our UN partners, remains fully committed in supporting member states to fulfill the TFM mandate, including through the online platform. We take note of the strong support by the UN General Assembly in adopting its resolution, which calls for voluntary contributions to support the full operationalization of all components of the technology facilitation mechanism, including an online platform that requires $2 million initial investment and $1.2 million annual operational costs. We therefore count on the generous support of the international community to help us deliver this critical mandate. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, with today's launch and with your full support, I look forward to a new starting point towards the full operationalization of the online platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Liu. Sorry for that little interruption. Can you hear me? Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I had a little problem with my microphone. Thank you so much, Mr. Liu, for those important words. I would now like to turn the floor to Ms. Isabel Durant, Deputy Secretary General for the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, or UNCTAD. Ms. Durant, you have the floor.
Thank you, Stephanie. Do you hear me? It's okay?
Yes, very well.
Good. So, first of all, good morning or good afternoon to all of you. I will start with a quote. A few years ago, Alan Kay, a scientist and a visionary on the digital era, said, "The best way to predict the future is to invent it." COVID-19 has clearly shown us that we need to build a better future when we are less vulnerable. And science and technology and innovation, or STI, are fundamental in this transformation process, not only to rebuild, but to build differently. STI has been a constant element in humanity's pursuit of progress and in finding solutions to confront the challenges we face. And the current crisis is no exception. Thanks to STI, we have the digital tools to organize our lives, work, and socialize remotely, and to accelerate research and development for a vaccine against the virus. The speed and scope of our technological progress has been remarkable, but it is striking that despite the power we have to transform, there is some things that we have not achieved: a wider and more even distribution of the benefits of STI. To achieve this, we need to scale up technology. We need global cooperation for scientific advancement, and we need to mobilize more resources for STI, which sometimes appear as a secondary need and not a priority for donors or government on short term. So, as mentioned by this our colleague, today's meeting will show how the technology facilitation mechanism can support the recovery from the current crisis. Shaping and contributing to this TFM has been a priority for us in UNCTAD. Together with our partners, we have contributed to different work streams of this mechanism. We are co-convener of the Interagency Task Team on Science, Technology and Innovation, and we contribute to the Multi-Stakeholder Forum on Science, Technology and Innovation for the SDGs. We need international scientific collaboration to close the gaps in research capabilities in developing countries, and because of the limited ability of many countries to undertake technological foresight and risk assessment. Commission on Science and Technology for Development, the CSTD. For a long time, the Commission has been advocating for open science as a key instrument for scientific collaboration. International collaboration in science and technology research enables scientists and researchers from across the world to have meaningful interaction that lead to leveling up of STI capacity for developing countries. The CSTD has not only been a place for dialogue, it has also been a place for action. It is under its platform that many countries have benefited from CSTD's sponsored South-South and North-South cooperation initiative in STI. The CSTD has also highlighted the concerns about the potential negative impact of rapid technological change on inequalities and has deliberated on supportive policies. My dream is that the CSTD could have on science and technology similar resources and echo than the IPCC on climate. To facilitate the understanding of this challenge and offer policy options, UNCTAD will soon publish its new edition of the Technology and Innovation Report, which is entitled Frontier Technologies and Inequalities, Leave No One Behind. Before ending, I would like to briefly mention that we support countries in the analysis of STI through dedicated policy reviews and through defining STI roadmaps. For instance, the National STI Policy Review for Ethiopia led to a revision of the country's STI policy. Similarly, the National STI Strategy of Panama was revised after its policy review, and a ministerial level committee on STI policies chaired by the vice president of the country was created. In Peru, the STI policy review resulted through the involvement of the parliament in an increase in the budget for science and technology. In addition to this instrument, we also offer capacity building, foster a better understanding of the gender dimension of STIs, and support partners of the Tech Access Partnership, a COVID-19 technology sharing platform led by the UN Technology Bank for LDCs. I have no doubt that all of us in this meeting believe in the power of STI to transform the world and combat this crisis. It is now our task to promote international, regional, and national policies that help unleashing the full potential of STI and ensure that its benefits are widely shared. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Ms. Durant, for sharing the perspective of UNCTAD and all of the essential work that you're doing. Thank you. Now I would like to turn the baton over to my colleague, Mr. Wei Liu, Sustainable Development Officer for DSDG DESA, and he will take us through the rest of the program. Wei, over to you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. Thank you, Under Secretary General, Mr. Liu. Thank you, Deputy Secretary General, Ms. Durant, for your opening remarks. Excellencies, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to be with you today and moderate the rest of the session. This morning, the United Nations launched the 2030 Connect, an online platform to promote science, technology, and innovation for sustainable development. It is a joint effort by so many UN partners and non-UN stakeholders. You will hear from them about the joint efforts in the past 4 years and the highlights of the online platform. The platform will serve as a portal to science, technology, and innovation resources within and beyond the United Nations, especially for practitioners and innovators in developing countries. Today, we are looking forward to your active engagement and discussion in this event. Before we begin with the presentation, I would like to appeal to all speakers to adhere the agreed time minutes for their intervention in order to assist the speaker in keeping the time. I will hold a paper sign like this, says please wrap up, at which point speaker should conclude their remark. I apologize in advance if I have to interrupt the speakers, and I do hope that will not happen, will not come to that with your cooperation. Given the high number of speakers and participants, I believe that we all understand the need to be disciplined so as to allow the adequate time for presenters, presentations, as well as virtual interactions with the participants. Okay, our first panelist is Mr. Dinghui Ban, the Director of Enterprise Solutions Service, Office of Information and Communication Technology, OICT, the United Nations. Mr. Dinghui, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Wei. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to be with all of you here today on the launch of the Technology Facilitation Mechanism as a gateway for information on science and technology innovations as part of the 2030 Connect initiative. I would like to congratulate DESA for driving this project from the proof of concept to a fully functional solution. Let me also extend my deep thanks to the donors, the technology partners, and data contributors of this platform, without forgetting, of course, the OICT team that designed this platform as an integration framework for all potential partners within and beyond the United Nations. Today is an important milestone of the project, the launch of the platform. We already have a few partners sharing information on the platform, and more are coming. During this time of the pandemic, the platform is also doubling its role to serve information on COVID-19 related technologies and solutions that are available within and outside the UN. This would not have been possible without the excellent collaboration between DESA and OICT. I am confident that the platform will grow over time to support countries in achieving the SDGs. OICT and DESA have a history of working together successfully. For example, several entities of DESA are using the capacity building and online learning solution of OICT since 2017. The solution is currently used by 900,000 users in 193 countries. It is possible to connect that solution to the TFM platform and enrich the latter with capacity building and knowledge transfer features. I'm sure that DESA already has plans to take the platform to a next level. For instance, OICT can work with DESA to leverage artificial intelligence and virtual assistants to make the user experience even better. DESA brings the substantive expertise and requirements, while OICT provides technology solutions. DESA partnership with OICT ensures proper support for the platform to grow and to remain sustainable. In general, OICT is also working with different UN entities, offering our technical excellence and building technology solutions spanning across many sectors that impact the Sustainable Development Goals number 2, zero hunger, number 5, gender equality, number 7, affordable and clean energy, number 8, decent work and economic growth, number 12, responsible consumption and production, number 13, climate action, and number 17, partnership for the goals. The Technology Facilitation Mechanism project is a very good example of how technology and business can work together to deliver a solution that supports the SDGs. OICT looks forward to continuing this successful partnership with DESA on this project, as well as on other projects in the future. Once again, congratulations and best wishes to the initiative. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ding Hui, for your remarks. OICT is an important partner for you and DESA. We really enjoyed the collaboration with you, and we're looking forward to our closer collaborations in the next steps. And I do agree with you, today is a milestone for this initiative, and we really hope we can scale up our actions and bring more partners into this platform and connect more databases and make it more useful for developing countries and developed world too. Thank you. Our next speaker is Ms. Ola Zeran, head of coordination office. Just wonder if you can fix the sound. I hear myself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. It's just just now the sound was not well. I haven't even finished introducing you. Ms. Ola Zeran, head of coordination office in New York, World Intellectual Property Organization. Ms. Ola, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Hui. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, on behalf of the World Intellectual Property Organization, I wish to congratulate the UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs and the UN Office of Information and Communication Technologies for the development and the launch of the 2030 Connect platform, a key and promising component of the technology facilitation mechanism. As a member of the Interagency Task Team on Science, Technology and Innovation, WIPO was pleased to support this work stream. And today we are even more pleased to feature among the first partner institutions to connect 3 of WIPO's platforms to 2030 Connect, namely WIPO Green, WIPO Research, and WIPO Match. These platforms are based on partnerships that help strengthen the global innovation ecosystem and contribute to the attainment of the SDGs. A couple of words, if you allow me, to introduce these platforms. First, WIPO Green. WIPO Green is an online marketplace for environmentally sound technologies that contributes to the accelerated identification and deployment of green technology solutions by connecting technology providers with technology seekers. It comprises a database of nearly 4,000 technological solutions and 250 needs, all grouped under 7 main green tech categories. As an asset sharing platform, it assembles in one place technologies at different stages of development, from prototypes to market-ready ones, and makes them available for license, sale, joint ventures, or other forms of collaboration. The second platform is WIPO Research. WIPO Research is a global public-private consortium that catalyzes the development of medicines and technologies to fight against neglected tropical diseases, malaria, and tuberculosis. It does so through innovative partnerships and innovative R&D collaborations, IP that makes IP available on a royalty-free basis for researchers across the globe to support them in finding solutions and thereby advancing science and scientific network to address this category of diseases. The Partnership Hub is led by BioVentures for Global Health, a nonprofit organization that proactively identifies collaboration and knowledge sharing opportunities among its members and facilitate access to private sector compounds and library of compounds to repurpose drugs. This saves considerable resources for scientists, accelerates research, increases the chances of success, and reduces the cost of development. The third platform is WIPO Match. WIPO Match is an online tool that is used to match seekers of specific IP-related development needs with potential providers of resources, assistance, or solutions. In doing so, it facilitates South-South and triangular cooperation on a wide range of elements that make up an enabling innovation and creativity ecosystem. In this regard, I am pleased to be joined today by the program manager of WIPO Match, Mr. Wibowo, who will be sharing with you shortly a sample of the kind of matches that may result from this platform. Once again, we congratulate the great team that brought the TFM OLP to life, and we look forward to continuing our engagement in this work stream as it moves to the next phase. We also, due to time constraints, we would be happy to share through DESA a number of the impact stories that resulted from the facilitation provided through these platforms. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Ola. Thank you so much for your important remarks and bringing so much technology databases to this platform. We are looking forward to work closely with you. And I'm also glad Bio is also joined this meeting, and he can also share some concrete examples through this WIPO Match platform. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Ms. Peggy Ortiz-Bolton, the Director of Science Policy and Capacity Building, UNESCO. Ms. Peggy, the floor is yours.
And see me? Thank you, Wei. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and dear colleagues. It is my pleasure to be with you today to say a few words on behalf of UNESCO to mark the launch of the online technology platform while reflecting on the role of science, technology, and innovation in the COVID and post-COVID era. UNESCO is privileged to be one of the key partners of the technology facilitation mechanism since its inception 5 years ago in 2015. We have always seen the TFM as a critical tool for delivering sustainable development goals and for providing a platform and also opportunity for collaboration and synergy for science, technology, and innovation initiatives but also particularly for demonstrating UN working or delivering as one. After the successful establishment of the UN Interagency Task Team on STF for the SDGs and the UN STF Forum, the online technology platform is the last but not the least of the components of the TFM. This technology platform is an important piece of the STF for the SDG puzzle, which has a critical role to play in serving as a gateway for information sharing on existing STI initiative mechanisms and programs, with the objectives of facilitating access to information, knowledge, and experience, as well as best practices and lessons learned on the STF or the SDG. The online platform is joining the UN platform now, which is the Open Science. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to give you a bit of a background to the Open Science. The Open Science movement, which has emerged as a scientific, which has emerged now in the world, is rapidly spreading across nations, calling for democratization of science and opening the gates of knowledge, increasingly recognized as a critical accelerator for the SDGs. Open science allows scientists to share information, data, and output to be more widely accessible and more reliably, to use this, through an active engagement of all stakeholders. And as mentioned earlier by colleagues, the COVID-19 has shown that it is imperative now than ever before for us to strengthen international scientific collaboration. And open science is a game changer. Open science calls for access to scientific knowledge, data sharing, and evidence-based policy making. However, a global understanding of the meaning and opportunities and challenges of open science is still missing. And that is why the 193 member states have tasked UNESCO with the development of an international standard-setting instrument on open science in the form of a UNESCO recommendation on open science. We have therefore embarked on an inclusive consultative process. And as I speak, the first process starts tomorrow with an advisory committee coming from all over the world to deliberate on this. We are therefore embarked on an inclusive consultative process to build a global consensus on open science, leading to the adoption of the recommendation by member states in 2021. We value this partnership, ladies and gentlemen, and we invite the technology facilitation mechanism and all our partners present today to join us in this endeavor. And we thank you all, and we look forward to a successful collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy. Thank you so much for your remarks. UNESCO is our key partner for this online platform initiative, and the work you have been done on the open science is a great source of technology information and science information for this platform. Thank you so much for your remarks. Now we are all ready to see the actual online platform we are launching now. On this, my boss, Ms. Shantanu Mukherjee, Chief Integrated Policy Analysis Branch, DESA, will present the features of the 2030 Connect. Shantanu, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Wei, and thank you to all colleagues who are joining us here today. I'm going to try and make this a live demo if possible, so I'm going to try and introduce this via sharing my screen. So is that visible to everybody?
Yes.
Okay, excellent, good. So I think most of the participants in this webinar are aware of the TFM, and if they weren't when they started, they're certainly aware of it now. The technology facilitation mechanisms online platform, as many have observed, is meant to be a gateway to science, technology, and innovation resources for the SDGs. We've been working on this for a while. There was a technical assessment conducted soon after the technology facilitation mechanism was set up. We held a design competition and created a prototype, and we have also mobilized resources to bring this first phase of the online platform to you and to launch it. So let me dive straight in and tell you a little bit about what you can expect to find on it and where we want to go with it. Now, when we read through when we consulted with the various stakeholders and read through the assessments, it was quite clear that there is a lot of information out there, and the challenge is not the availability of information. The challenge is also not the availability of quality information, but the challenge really is being able to access it in a curated way without necessarily going all over the place and finding what you're looking for. So 2030 Connect is your gateway to networks of curated SDG knowledge and applications. It draws from UN and non-UN resources who are repositories of this information. So we have institutional repositories and databases, and you can see some of our partners here at the bottom of the screen. There are 21 of them that we are connecting to right now. In addition to this, it also brings to you winners of innovation competitions around the world whose work has a bearing on STI for the SDGs and are often young entrepreneurs working in developing countries. And it also has the facility to bring you similar information with special categories such as those related to COVID-19. So this information in our platform is organized into three main categories, as I mentioned. Let me first go to compendium, which brings to you the information that is in the online databases or repositories of institutional partners. And you will see that this is organized into four categories: publications and knowledge resources, technology solutions, financial resources and matchmaking, capacity development, and others. I leave it to you to explore these in detail. I would just like to flag, picking up on Peggy's remarks about open science, that one of our collaborators here is Open Air, who are an online repository of open science portal presenting open access research publications on various themes, and an important repository of information for us to look at. Other speakers have spoken about WIPO, which is already part of the technology solutions databases. We also have the European Enterprise Network, yet to the Green Technology Bank. On the financial and matchmaking side, we have colleagues such as the Global Innovation Exchange, and in the terms of capacity development, we have CTCN and IPP, which is a collaborative platform put forward by the OECD and the World Bank. Now, as I mentioned, we also feature young innovators who have won competitions for STI for the SDGs, and they may not be featured in institutional databases, but we believe, and I'm sure you agree with me, that their work is important and can be translated easily across countries. For example, let us take a look at the winner of our innovation competition this year, one of the winners, called Wanji Games, which is actually a learning mechanism to help influence behavior change delivered over telephones, not really, and so valuable in places where broadband is yet to make a mark. These are all proven solutions that you find here, high tech and sometimes low tech. They work very well, we find, to address single or multiple SDGs, and because they've been proven in the field, they are quite ripe for replicating or scaling up in different country contexts. Finally, the last source of information on our database right now is technology solutions to deliver responses to COVID. We issued a call for best practices and good technology-related solutions and collected a large number of entries. These have been curated, and we have solutions from the UN system, which are often around testing protocols, telemedicine, or geospatial data information. And we also have solutions from outside the UN system, including things like contact tracing apps, PPE manufacture, use of AI and robotics in delivering COVID solutions. Let me turn very quickly to what our aspiration is for this collection of information. Of course, it's great to have this in one place. I hope you'll agree with me. But what we really want to do through the TFM is to foster meaningful connections. Meaningful connections means that we should be helping to facilitate two kinds of things. First, we should be helping you to find what you need from this repository of information. And second, we should be helping you make it usable in your own context. So the next step in our work is not just to be a gateway to these information sources, but to facilitate this search, as I am doing here by looking for aquaculture in the search box. Right now, we don't have all of our technology databases connected to the search function. We only have a few. The rest will come through. But just as an example of what is possible, we see that from the aquaculture search, we would have solutions that are here from the European Enterprise Network and a few others. When I click on the solution that the European Enterprise Network is presenting, I want to emphasize that it takes me directly to the European Enterprise Network page. And if I'm interested in finding more about this, this is not a function that DESA discharges. It is discharged by the experts at the European Enterprise Network through their Express on Interest button. We feel that this is a powerful way for you to find things you need and speak to the experts who are directly involved in implementing it for you. And we hope that this direct link to partner sites will help also partners better fulfill through a wider outreach, the technology sharing and technology facilitation function that so many of them do already. What are we going to do as we go forward? As I said, many of these existing databases will be connected now to the central search function. You will be able to search not just for technology, but also for documents, for policy guidance, and for open access scientific papers. We would like to add as we go forward on-the-ground resources in countries, because technology facilitation involves not just online search and finding resources, but also offline facilitation. We would like to add this here. And we hope that over time, this will become a one-stop resource for knowledge and technology access for the SDGs. To fulfill this, we need your support, your guidance, and also financial resources. And I hope as more and more people turn to this and find it is useful, we will be able to leverage all three. Thank you so much. And I would like to hand the floor back to Wei right now.
Thank you so much, Shantanu. Thank you so much for walk us through this, this platform. I just want to invite all participants wishing to make comments and pose questions during the discussion. Please do so. You can use the chat function. I can see several colleagues already post the comments during the discussion using the chat function in the WebEx meeting. So if you have any feedback or questions or comment to make, please do use that. And colleagues also keep eyes on it. And if there's a technical questions, colleague from OECD can possibly answer. Others, maybe we can also relate to the panelist who has just presented the work. Okay, so our next session, we are moving to the next session. Our next session is interactive dialogue with member states and other stakeholders, and we have a list of speakers. The first speaker in this session is Her Excellency Ms. Elizabeth Thompson, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of Barbados to the United Nations. She is also a former co-chair of the STI Forum. Ambassador Thompson, the floor is yours.
Okay, I think Ambassador Thompson is not yet joined, so maybe we can go to the next speaker.
Okay.
If she joins later, we'll bring her back in.
Okay, so there may be some connection issue. We will collect her feedback through email. Okay, so the next speaker is His Excellency Mr. Juan Sandoval, DPR Permanent Mission of Mexico to the United Nations, Vice President of ECOSOC. He's also a former co-chair of STI Forum. Ambassador Sandoval, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Wei. Thank you very much, Shantanu. I would like to thank the organizers for inviting Mexico to participate in today's event. We are really, really delighted to join DESA, UNCTAD, and OICT in the launching of the online technology platform 2030 Connect. We would like to congratulate you for this effort because it rounds up the implementation of the technology facilitation mechanism, launching the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Well, it took us a few years to implement and to have this mandate fulfilled, but I think that the result is exactly what we dream of. And it's exactly what we were trying to have, and it just had to grow and to be enriched. The repository of good practices on science, technology, and innovation for the implementation of the 2030 Agenda is a step in the right direction in order to accelerate the achievement of the SDGs. Now it's up to member states to provide content so it can become a real space for sharing and of best practices. And as well, all the stakeholders that you mentioned is very impressive. In my national capacity, I am particularly glad the platform becomes a reality because we have systematically and annoyingly made a call for its implementation in the last years. It should really become a global common good at the service of the international community. And we really hope this is a tool that goes with 21st century, should be very important tool for all of us, for all the agencies, and for all the countries. The establishment of the platform is very timely because it coincides with the launching of the Secretary General's roadmap on digital cooperation. And this is what your platform is doing. We are accelerating cooperation. There are many initiatives that will be implemented in the coming months, and the platform can serve as one of the tools to bring them all together. We should continue striving for more coordination, for more cooperation, and collaboration at the UN, especially in the STI field. So congratulations again for the initiative. We are looking forward to contribute to its content. And I would like to recognize the group of 10, especially to Bon Turekian, to Jose Ramon Lopez Portillo, who are those who were always sharing with us the importance of this platform. I suppose they should be very satisfied of the result, but especially that we are just opening really a window for a new era of cooperation with STI and with the SDGs. So it's a very good day for all of us. So congratulate all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Sandoval. Thank you so much for your support and the leadership. We work closely with the 10-member group and get a lot of support from them. And we also really appreciate for their engagement. Our next speaker is His Excellency Daniel Okateya, DPR Permanent Mission of Ghana to the United Nations. Mr. Okateya, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Firstly, I wish to thank UNDESA, UNCTAD, and OICT and other members of the Interagency Task Team on Science, Technology, and Innovation for organizing this important meeting. While welcoming the launch of the online platform at this crucial time, we appreciate the efforts of the 10-member group, the UN IATT, for their support in the development and operationalization of the TFM online platform. We are happy to finally witness the operationalization of the third strand of the TFM, as prescribed in the Addis Agenda. Excellencies, the current pandemic threatens to have a devastating impact on all the 6 entry points for transformation, which were prescribed by the Global Sustainable Development Report of 2019, mostly affecting developing countries, especially in Africa. Currently, the data indicates that financing conditions have tightened and 40 to 60 million people will be pushed into extreme poverty by the end of the year. Moreover, available data before the pandemic indicated that approximately 3.6 billion people, mostly in Africa, lacked internet connection. During the pandemic, as it became more obvious that countries needed to urgently leverage the benefits of online platforms in order to observe social distancing protocols. Many of the world's poor, especially in Africa again, were left behind. In this regard, there is urgent need to connect the digital divide to link the unconnected in order to help bridge the widening gap of inequality. As a country, Ghana has captured the STI in a policy document known as the Coordinated Program of Economic and Social Development Policies. Being one of the 5 countries of the Global Pilot Program for the formulation of STI roadmaps for the SDGs, we hope to use the benefits of the platform to contribute to the full implementation of the roadmaps. The government of Ghana has set up a technical team for the roadmaps, co-chaired by the SDG Advisory Unit at the Office of the President and the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation. The lead institution for this technical team is the Science, Technology and Policy Research Institute. We therefore hope that the online platform will contribute to the full implementation of the roadmaps. We expect the platform to provide access to available STI solutions that can be adopted and enhanced at a cheaper cost to countries in order to tackle specific socioeconomic challenges faced during the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as to enable our countries recover better. We believe that the 2013 Connect will play a key role in accelerating the implementation of the 2030 Agenda in this decade of action and delivery through providing a major global platform of scientific innovative ideas that can be put into action to enable us achieve the SDGs. I cannot end without emphasizing the relevance of international cooperation as well as research and multi-stakeholder coordination in this regard. There is a need for immense political will to implement these strategies and several calls to action that have been made in the past to advance collaboration across the science, policy, society interface. We should stand together and create this system and accept that the arch of history will bend only if the weakest among us succeeds. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you, Excellency. We just heard from Ambassador Thompson's office that due to unexpected reason, she is not feeling well today, so that's why she is absent for the meeting, and we all hope she can feel better soon. So just give you the update on that. Our next speaker is Mr. Alessandro Marcello, Group Leader, ICGEB. Mr. Marcello, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and congratulations for the launch of the TFM 2030 Connect platform. Thank you for this opportunity to highlight the activities of the International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, particularly on the COVID-19 pandemic. The ICGEB, as we are called, provides a center of excellence for research, training, and technology transfer in the field of biotechnology to promote sustainable global development. As you may note, I'm wearing a white lab coat. This is to mark the difference of our organization, which is heavily involved in scientific research and development in biotechnology for the benefit of our member states, particularly in resource-limited settings. Personally, I'm a scientist. I'm head of the molecular virology laboratory, and from the very beginning of this pandemic, we have been working hard to provide know-how and resources to our partners. In our biosafety level 3 laboratories for the manipulation of infectious agents, we isolated the coronavirus circulating in Italy and developed diagnostic protocols and reagents that are available on an open platform through our website. These include protocols for SARS-CoV-2 diagnostics, online tutorials, and reagents to be able to develop low-cost in-house assays. We also offer our platform to characterize by full genome sequencing the molecular evolution of the virus, both nationally in the countries that host our laboratories, in Italy, for example, where the headquarters are placed and my lab is placed, but also India, Delhi, and South Africa, but also internationally in our member states, in all our member states. Furthermore, through collaborations with different public and private international partners, we are testing antiviral strategies against SARS-CoV-2 based on repurposing and, as mentioned before, and one compound that we tested is currently in clinical trials in India on COVID-19 patients, and we are eagerly expecting results by September, October this year. So to conclude, we are very happy to join forces with the UN DESA, the SDG, and the other stakeholders of this TFM 2030 Connect platform in order to tackle the pandemic. And I strongly believe that we need to enable locally to recover from this crisis globally. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marcello. Also, as Shantanu just showing before in the current platform, we already have included the SEGB's platform on COVID, and we are looking forward to our more in-depth collaboration with you in the next phase. Our next speaker is Miss NATALIA MANOLA. She's a research associate, University of Athens, and she represents Open Air. NATALIA, the floor is yours.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I would like to also add my congratulations to the platform and especially to the collaboration that underlying this platform. And it's really nice to see that we have proceeded from words into actions and put the technology in place. Just to give you a small background on Open Air, Open Air is a European infrastructure for open science. We are a leader, I think, in the world on this. We have 36 European members. We are based in Greece, and the key goal here is not to do open science just in Europe, but around the world. And with this, we have links to other initiatives around the world. So what we are really happy to see is that open science is an integral part of the platform and the UN 2030 agenda. And our contribution to that is that we provide access to the open research publications, data, software, and methods. Because when we talk about open science, now we need to think not just publications, but beyond publications. Our main effort is the Open Air Research Graph, which is a global linked open research that offers access to 60 million open access publications, about 5 million data objects, 100,000 software. But what is more relevant to that is that with this graph, because science is interconnected, and this is what we would like to offer through open science, is that we link all these research outcomes to people and organizations. And I think this is one of the key important messages for the UN 2030 agenda, is how to be more inclusive and how to connect people around the world. As one of the previous speakers said, I think, the gateway and the 2030 Connect platform, we see that as a great initiative. But we know that this is the beginning. We know that There is a lot of more to be done, and Open Air is willing to contribute, especially to technology provision, AI, machine learning, big data technologies, because at some point we will need to make it to make all this more easily discoverable, all this information, and this would only be a key asset for SDGs. And just one last comment about open science. One of the other previous speakers said about open science, and what we would like to say is that open science is here to stay. And what it is crucial for us is to make it work for the good for all. So apart from the inclusivity, apart from the quality, what we are talking about here in SDGs and STI is the evidence-based. And what we need with open science, we have this evidence-based outside of the box. So we don't have to, knock on doors or go behind paid walls in order to access it. So this is what we would like to stress, is that open science is really good on that. And what we also would like to stress is that Europe is doing a lot on open science. We have the next framework is based around open science. We have the COVID portals, we have everything. But in order for these SDGs to succeed, is that we need to have a global science commons. And we need to see these global open science initiatives coming together. And this is why I would like, again, UN and UNESCO is building all these the Science 2021 open science. And I think, what we need to see is that the UN 2030 platform is not out of context of everything that is happening around. And this would be my message. And thank you for this initiative.
Thank you so much, Natalia, for your important message. We are so glad you are here, and we're looking forward for the next phase of closer collaboration with you on Open Air and Open Science Initiative.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are running out of time, but we still have a number of speakers. Our next speaker is Xiaolan Fu. Professor Fu is the founding director of Technology and the Management Center for Development in Oxford University. She's the long-term supporter and cheerleader for this initiative on the online platform. And she's a former member of 10-member group of the TFM, and she's also a member of the Governing Council of the United Nations Technology Bank for least developed countries. Professor Fu, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Wei. Thank you, Shantano, for having me at this important event. First of all, I would like to express my sincere congratulations to the UN for the launch of the online technology platform. This online platform has gone through rigorous independent review by experts from both developed and developing countries to ensure the views and the needs from the community are taken up. I believe that it will serve the needs of the global community well. At this time of global crisis, I believe the platform can work together with other initiatives globally to make greater impact. For example, the Technology Access Partnership for COVID-19 launched by the UN Tech Bank and the WHO and the UNDP. There are definitely synergies between these two initiatives. The 2030 Connect already has a technically sound platform which can provide a well-designed online platform for knowledge deposit and matching. And the TAP, Technology Access Partnership, has the strength of private sector participation. This will help strengthen the TFM's private sector participation. And the 2030 Connect has wider sector coverage and also strong scientific community and civil society involvement. This will also provide a systematic solution to the global public health crisis So in sum, working together, we will get a greater impact. The Technology and the Management Center for Development at the University of Oxford is also dedicated to ensure science and technology work for development. We are also very happy to partner and collaborate with the platform and to contribute to the achievement of the SDGs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Xiaolan, for your remarks and your support. As we say, it's a very important topic, and we had a very rich discussion. However, we are running out of time. I would like to invite all 4 panelists to give a very quick response to the discussant, the 5 discussant on their point made just now. I would like to invite in a reverse order the first panelist to respond to the discussant is Mr. Shantanu Mukherjee. Shantanu,
thank you, Wei. And I would like to, of course, thank all of the messages of support from our ongoing collaborators, and we look forward to establishing this network further. I completely agree with the points that have been made about improving how technology itself can help us find what is most suited for us, as well as with some of the comments in the chat box about how to enable this kind of technology search to lead, or knowledge search to lead to real results on the ground. We will be happy to continue working on these areas, and we hope that through our collaboration with all of you, the impact of science, technology, and innovation on the SDGs will actually be enhanced manifold. Thank you.
Thank you, Shantanu. The next panelist to respond to the discussant's comments is Ms. Peggy. Peggy, you have 1 minute for a quick response.
And thank you for the support for open science. Open science is well and truly a game changer. It's an inclusive way of sharing information and data. And we're hoping that the platform will only help to advance, open science and bringing, more people together, irrespective of whether they're in the South or North. This is a time, and COVID has shown that it is not only a disease of the South or the North, but it's for everybody, and scientific research has to be shared. So we will look forward to collaborating with all you partners in making really open science a game changer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peggy. I now turn to WIPO colleague. I understand Ola would like to hand over her time to her colleague, Bajoe. Bajoe, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Wei, and congratulations to UNDSA, UN, OICT, and UNCTAD in its successful bidding of Connect 2030. And thank you also for the opportunity to address a few words about WIPO Match. And as you know, in this time of uncertainties, the challenges connected to COVID-19 have completely disrupted the way of communication, and in particular in the business of innovation, replacing all physical meetings with virtual meetings. And the relevance of innovation and IP has grown due to the fast pace in which we live in this technological world. And as my colleague Ola mentioned before, WIPO Match is an online platform to match seekers of specific IP and innovation needs with potential providers. And WIPO Match now has come in a timely manner in enabling strategic partnership and in the development of private-public partnership in a virtual manner with a growing community with the same like-minded approach towards supporting social, economic, and cultural development within the framework of the SDGs 2030. And during this pandemic period, we had the opportunity to finalize 2 matches, which I would like to share with you. The first one was with the University of Monterrey, Mexico, and SEAT, Spain, and Volkswagen, Mexico. And this project, COVID-19 related project, enable the development of emergency ventilators to treat patients with coronavirus disease in non-critical stages. And the first batch of 50 devices were manufactured at the Volkswagen plant in Puebla, Mexico. And the second one, which is also an interesting match, which happened with the University of Azhar Indonesia and a Swiss NGO called Swiss Green Project, with the support of philanthropical support financial of EKTS partners, which enable in the upcoming months with the delivery of a number of Swiss technology machines to purify water and to provide potable water to remote community in remote places in Indonesia. So the underpinning of the WIPO Match and Connect 2030 Association is to make sure that the last link in the innovation cycle is strong enough to push towards commercialization. Today, with the launching of Connect 2030, it is a golden opportunity to show that if we stand together with our respective valuable platforms and networks, we will not only be stronger, but we will also be able to maximize our resources towards delivering sustainable innovation projects everywhere in the world. And I would like to end with a quote of the wise Nelson Mandela, who said, "It always seems impossible until it is done." Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bayo. I now turn to the floor to Mr. Ding Hui. Ding Hui, you have a floor, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I think this platform is, so today is the beginning, right? So we still have a long way to go, and there are enhancements that can be done. We would like, and we hope that we will continue this fruitful collaboration with DESA. There were a couple of questions, I think, that we received in writing. Maybe in the interest of time, we cannot answer, but if you want, Wei, I can send the answers to you in writing, and you can forward the answer to the people who asked the question. There is a lot of potential to this platform, as I explained during my short 3-minute speech. But I will be happy to continue the conversation with anyone in this forum who wants to, who can contribute with ideas of enhancement of future features that we can add. And we consider this is a very successful collaboration, and let's continue that way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ding Hui, for your support. Absolutely, we will collect all the questions and all these questions related to the platform, which you can possibly address. We are happy to bring the response together and forward it to the participant. And by looking at the chat box, I saw quite a number of participants already start using the platform. Thank you so much, and you are the first user. Congratulations, and we do need your feedback. Some questions are asking whether we can use SDGs to search certain technologies. So those are specific questions we can answer specifically with support and help from OICT colleagues. Thank you so much. Before we conclude, I saw a hand raised by Ambassador Sandoval, a virtual hand. Whether Ambassador Sandoval, you would like to say a few words? Maybe it's.
I'm here.
Oh, yes.
No, well, basically, just to thank you, to congratulate you, to underscore how this is an effort, long time waited, and that we have been waiting for a long time for having this repository, and also underscore the public nature, and that this should be a common good for all the countries, for all the agencies at the UN, and basically to congratulate you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Thank you so much for your support. I think in the program I still have 2 minutes to wrap up, but given that we are running out of time, I will cut it short. But I really wish to thank all the distinguished panelists and also the representative from the 10-member group of the Technology Facilitation Mechanism for their continued engagement, as well as the colleague from the UN IITT Interagency Task Team. My thanks goes to my DESA, UNCTAD, and OICT colleagues who work tirelessly to prepare this event. Above all, my thank you go to all of you for attending actively participating the discussion here. You are the pioneer and the change makers representing the bright tomorrow of applying the STI for realizing SDGs. We hope to see all of you again at our next event and exchange soon. I invite you to use the platform. Currently is live, and there is also, you can send the feedback through the platform. Now I would like to invite all the presenters and DESA team to switch on your cameras, and maybe we can have a virtual group photo before we leave the meeting. May I invite all of you, the presenters, DESA team, colleagues from UNCTAD, OICT, can you please? I don't know whether the host can make it like all cameras in one screen. If possible, I don't know how it works here, but in Teams we can have many small windows. Each one has their cameras on. Can we have it or not?
Yes, we have it, Wei. It's showing that way.
I see. Okay, perfect. Okay, so will someone help to take a screenshot so that we have a record of the group photo? Okay, so maybe we can close the meeting. Just want to say goodbye to everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Thank you, Wei. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Wei. Thank you, DESA.
Congratulations.
Bye.
Bye.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Bye-bye. So nice to have you here.